What's up, everybody? Just wanted to make a video here. We're well into second week of July, so we're about halfway through the season, and I've been noticing a few things that I'd like to change for next year to help improve. First one that I would definitely change is another row of fabric for the pumpkins and muskmelon. So this is two 30-inch beds with a 14-inch path, and that's not enough. So I need to go with the 3. I need to plant them right down the middle, and then they will be a lot more easy to control. Potatoes, what I would do is I wouldn't plant this half with potatoes. I would do something different. I would do 2 half beds of potatoes because that drains a lot better down there. You could tell it because those have a lot more flowers on them. So that side of the garden is doing way better than this side because it's a lower section and it holds water. So that I would do differently with the potatoes. My tomatoes, I'm glad I went with the tall posts. I do have some of the short ones just from leftover, but I went out and bought all new tall posts this year for my tomatoes. I do have some cherry tomatoes in the center over there, but mostly what I grow is indeterminate, so they just grow and grow and grow. So having that extra stability at that height is a handy thing. I definitely am going to plant more zucchinis and summer squashes for sure, because it's producing, but it's not a lot. Like it's only, there's like 10 or 12 plants here, so it can only produce so much. Last year I did 2 successions of 25, and that gave me an abundance, which was perfect. Onions, I don't think I would change anything. Those are turning out real well. I got them set up in clusters. These are bunching onions, so I can harvest and come again. And then the kohlrabi, I would work on my spacing because these are far too densely, see? So I'm just kind of letting them ride, okay? And we're seeing what we get. These onions, the bigger ones, the Walla Wallas and the Spanish sweets, I have some that I started over there on the other side that's in fabric, and I think I don't want to do fabric for onions next year because I got it set up to where, this looks pretty clean. It's not weed free, but it's pretty dang clean, so that's what I would change for sure. So I would have a 100-foot row of 3 different kinds of onions, and we'd be able to harvest from them throughout the season. This I would never have done. This is an interplanting of carrots and onions, and it's working kind of, but now the carrots have met the height of the onions, and now we're starting to get shadow. So I don't know if I would have done that. And I would keep my dog out of my garden. Jazz, get off my carrots. Dang it, girl. Carrots, I would definitely change my spacing to a little bit wider. I use a 4-row precision seeder, and I feel like these are a little too dense. It's not horrible, but they're pretty dense. So I might have to thin some of them out, but we're getting good growth on them, so that's a plus. Let's take a look at the other plot. The cabbages, I would definitely get them out sooner. We had a little bit later because I couldn't get into the garden because it was super wet this spring. And now I'm battling all kinds of bugs. You can see the holes and stuff. So I would definitely get them in sooner because there's less bugs later in the season for cabbage. Same thing with the broccolis. Peppers, I would definitely grow more peppers. And I'm going to start my seeds just a little bit later. I think I started them a little too early. But I would definitely grow more and start them a little bit later. Concentrate more on the cabbages and the cold season crops. Tomatoes, they're starting to get production here. Got big clusters. These are the Burpee Steakhouse. Okay, we're starting to get real good clustering here, which is exciting. Real good clusters. And you could tell I pruned up, you know, these are the ones that have like just a couple leads, where everything else is just natural. Let it flow. But I'm trying to get super big tomatoes on this little stretch from here to here. So I'm running them with minimal leads, and I go and I prune the suckers and stuff along the way. I did go, those have like a 48-inch spacing. And the reason I did a 48-inch spacing on most of my tomatoes was because I don't go through and prune those, okay? As much as I'd like to, pruning 300 tomatoes, I don't want to do it. So I allow for extra airflow because we get all of our wind from this way out west. So I want to make sure that they have airflow through there. So that helps prevent a lot of funguses developing and blights. These are a little bit closer because I'm single and double and, you know, minimal leading these. So these I was able to plant a little bit closer. So I like that spacing. I definitely wouldn't change that. The thing I would change with the tomatoes is I would definitely grow more cherry tomatoes and more of the yellow ones for sure. One big thing I would change with the overall garden is next year, I'm not going to have any uncovered paths. I hate going through here. I can't mow it because it's not wide enough, and I have to weed whack it. So when I come through and weed whack it, I'm always fearful of catching the fabric. So next year, we're covering the entire garden with fabric. And I think I'm going to get some white fabric because I did notice an issue early on. The plastic got like a bazillion degrees. And that was also part of the reason that my cabbages look the way they do on the bottom here. See how they're all burned? See that? So it damaged it. And then once you damage a plant, it kind of makes it susceptible to bugs. So I would definitely like to get some white fabric. I think that would be beneficial to have on a couple rows. It works good with the tomatoes because they like it warm, so they flourish. But some of these other cooler season crops, I'm really stretching the length here. I should have harvested cabbages already. I'm still kind of waiting. They're getting size, but I'm still waiting. But I think overall, we are in a way better stature than we were last year at this time. So that is great. Because last year we didn't do squat. I had all these plants, the tomatoes, they all ripened super late in the season. It was a bad season for us last year. So this year I was turning it around, and we're going with this year. Next year, for corn, I'm going to see what kind of full production we get on this. This is the Serendipity sweet corn. And so far, that corn looks super healthy. Last year I did peaches and cream, and it was an epic fail. So I changed it into a different kind here. I definitely am impressed with some of the growth this season, even with the hot temperatures. You know, I'm pretty sure these are my brandy wines here. And I mean, these look extremely healthy. Like, I don't see bugs. The one thing I've been worried about lately is now that it's hot out, I have to worry about the hornworm. So I got a special light. I'm going to make a video about that soon, where I come out at night and it'll show them. I haven't found any yet, so I'm going to keep you posted on that, but that's pretty cool. The tomato weave, the Florida weave is definitely helping be able to walk through these aisles. So I'm glad I'm doing that. I won't switch that at all. I wish I didn't have to trellis them, but you know, you got to keep them off the ground. So as far as 2025 season goes, we're halfway through in July. I think it's going pretty dang good. I love the trellises that I came up with this year. I think next year I want to do all arches. And this is a different lattice than these front ones. You could tell it's a bigger opening. And I think I want to make the arches out of these. So I need to get some more of those because this is a pain in the butt. Carefully getting them through those little holes in that lattice. So that I would change. So there's a list of stuff I would change. Other than that, the only thing I could think that would improve it more right now that would help beneficially is drip irrigation. I have these two on soaker hoses, my carrots, which is working very well. There's a weed, I think. And that's about the only thing that I would change different with that. See how soft my beds are? I just barely put my foot on here and they sunk in. God, I love that. But anyways, that's the ups and downs of this year's crops. We got second successions of some stuff coming up. But, yep, we are rocking and a rolling and a planting and a hoeing. Happy farming, y'all. Later.